Yo, guys, it's your boy D. You know I'm here. You know I'm back. Self-cut edition. So I'm gonna go straight into that. Usually I do a bald, high taper, wavelength, as you know. Wouldn't have it any other way on any other day. So I'm going to jump into my cuts and get it going. But first and foremost, as you know, safety and protocol and precaution is a big thing. So we're going to follow state board rules first and foremost and drape the client, whether it's me or somebody else. Then we're going to go into this haircut. I'll make sure I comb my hair out. My waves ain't waving right now, but it's all good. Wait to the end. You are going to see. So with a bald, high taper, hence bald, we're going to bald out that bottom ugly little sideburns that I got going on. They don't connect as a beard. I don't think I'm going to have a beard, so we're not even really worried about it. Do that same thing that you did on one side to the other side. As they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You heard me? You feel me? Can you see me? Um, so cleaning that up, making sure it's bald, making sure that I don't have to go back underneath and do that within the haircut while I'm cutting my hair is a big part of my process of elimination while sticking to my blueprint on how I like to approach cutting a certain hair style, whether it's on me or a client. Me, I'm a high taper bald person, guys. So bald high taper. So that's where I'm at. So first and foremost, after we do all that, we've got everything set. Now we're gonna go in and we're gonna knock all this hair down. I had a pretty good length of hair on my head. So I'm gonna get all that out the way. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. I just make sure I take my time because my hair isn't super swirly, but it does grow differently in different areas. If you're looking at this right now, you'll be able to see from the back versus the front to the sides that my hair does grow in a different direction as it does directionally start to change. And so therefore I just precautionary take my time, cut it down. Here I'm going to kind of taper that hairline off just a tad bit, just because it gets a little thick up there. Um, and then therefore from going from that point, you got to just kind of adjust and make sure that you approach your haircut, especially if it's a self cut, and a slow, gradual grind. So I'm gonna turn my body here, adjust my mirror so that I can see on that backside, and you can see it too if you're looking. Um, and so, excuse me, I did drop my mirror there. We are having some malfunction. So, gonna go back in, continue with my cut. Had to adjust it, move it off the mirror to the door. And so here we're gonna take that back down, adjusting my mirror a little bit so you guys are seeing everything. Try not to make this seem like it's too perfect. I edit just enough so you guys can see what you guys need to see. Uh, and so we're gonna cut that down, cut that back down, finish cutting all the way around to make sure that we get every little inch of hair and make sure there's nothing left. So I'm working my way to the crown of my head, going over spots, maybe going over them more than once just to ensure that, hey, it is, essentially the length that I want, at a good length. And then it is essentially in the style form of how I want it to be cut. And so I'm watching this video as I do this voiceover and I'm just looking at things. And the thing about progressing and progression is that you're always going to get better within your hair cutting style. And that's the key. And most athletes, you hear them say it, is that every day is a new day to get better. And 10, 20 years, even LeBron says, he says, I'm always getting better. I'm always perfecting my craft. They say it takes 10,000 hours to master a craft. And so with that being said, you want to look at this and be like, well, shoot, being able to cut yourself is a whole skill, but being able to efficiently do it, that's a whole different ball game. And so for me, this is the part of where I truly enjoy educating, getting better, but perfecting my craft too. Because I want to see others win, but I also want to see myself progress. And so with that happening and me progressing, I'm just going over these things. So we're gonna get into the fading part of this, and like I said, guys, this is a 1.5 close, so everything from there will be within a 1.5 length or one or half guard. So here I am with my 1.5, and I'm debulking. So as you can see that blend on the left side coming together, I'm gonna keep it to where you guys can visually see as much as you need to see, but you can kind of see as I'm switching guards and progressing into my different levels and lengths of fading. And so I've now switched to my one guard, one open. I'm going to fade up. We're going to continue to fade up, get all those heavy weight lines out from the 1.5 using the tips of the blade. That is key when detailing and fading, because sometimes people will take the whole blade and scoop. Sometimes you just turn that blade diagonal and kind of scoop out, with a little just poke in the blend of the hair. So therefore, it creates a deeper blend. And like I said, when this is all said and done, you'll see the cut. And so from my one guard, I'm going to go to my half guard, and I'm going to do the same exact things from open halfway to close with my guard to blending. And then once we get past that portion of, okay, we got our half guard, we got our one guard, we got our 1.5 guard, I'm sorry, our one guard and our half guard. We're gonna go no guard, and then we're gonna blend from there. And so as you can see, I'm raking with my clipper, but I'm also using the tip of that blade to blend that better blend so that it's not heavy weighted within my haircut. That is a key portion when blending hair, because like I said, a lot of people, they tend to overly use the whole blade. And so, little insight, cutting my hair sometimes takes me anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. It's a tedious process, but like I tell most people, it is something that is not easy, but it's not hard because I've been doing it for a good amount of time. And so back into this haircut, I'm switching to my JRL Low Pro FX. It kind of has a deeper blade to blend, and then sometimes I will switch within my clippers and use a different clipper, same brand, but using that to blend a little better, so that my blend is very very detailed. And this is a self haircut, so I want it to be as good looking as possible because I am my own advertisement. And so that makes it even more of a bigger thing for me because I really want to take pride into what I'm doing. So therefore, while doing this, I'm making sure that it's very detailed, taking my time, really getting into it. Um, and mind you, I did record this, edited it all on my own. And so it's a tedious process. You got to really kind of pay attention to what you're doing, and to ensure that you have good content, good understanding content so that people understand you and that you can kind of dissect and be able to give this educational seminar or tour to people so that they understand it. So looking at my high taper fade on my right hand side, guys, you can see that that blend is coming together. So I'm working on that left side, and I'm going to do the same thing I did on my right side to my left side, vice versa. As my OGs used to say, elders, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And that's the key thing. And so what you do for one side, you do to the other. It's like what you do with a car. It's like painting a picture, anything. You kind of want to really focus in on doing it to a T. That's the key part. So when you do that, make sure to ensure that you really focus in on doing things to a blueprint, to a T, to having a notion to how you want to get it done. Um, and that's a key portion. So with blending, I like to blend until you can't blend no more because it just makes the haircut last longer. It makes it more detailed. So excuse me, guys, while I stopped and respond to a quick text message. But while I'm doing that, I want you to really focus in on how I'm holding my clipper when detailing these blends. And I wish I would have adjusted this mirror more so you guys can see that other side. But you get the gist when you're looking at one side to the other. And like I told you guys, a 1.5, a 1 guard, and a half guard. And so what I did to one side, I will do to the other. And like I always tell people, when you're cutting, remember to brush and comb after every stroke, whatever you do with your clipper or trimmer, because you're removing dead hairs or hairs that have been clipped and cut. That is a key part, so that you're not cutting in the same spot, or maybe you're overly seeing it, because it can happen. And so I've been doing this a while, and how I really look at it is that if you stay consistent to what you're doing, to what what you want to do, and how to approach it, you will have no issue with doing it. Some will say, you get better and you switch it up and you do this. I always say, never lose your old habits, but always be able to add new habits. And so we're going to work our way now to the back of this haircut. Like I said, guys, everything's at a 1.5 closed on my head. So what I'm going to do is 1.5 open, debulk all that, lay all that hair down, 1.5 closed. Then we're going to go to my 1 guard, and we're going to do 1 open, openly strokes. Then we're going to go midway, and then we're going to go close. And so right now I'm using my Low Pro FX with my 1 guard. And I'm going to just pretty much lay all that hair down in the back and come down on it. So as you can see, it's starting to blend. It's pretty much there. I will go back and detail it as I want to get my lining done in the back, which is a pretty tedious part for me. I am mostly dominant right hand, so I usually focus on that. Now right here, I'm going to use some Tomb 45 hair gel. You can use shampoo, you can use conditioner, but always lay those hairlines down. A hot towel will help lay it down. And so now we're going to jump into the hairline. As you can see, the back of that haircut is pretty much done. And so I'm going to focus on my hairline. I've kind of jumped it up to the part now where I'm just fine lining and detailing it. I've got it mostly lined up. Those clips are kind of long, so I don't want to show you all of that and make this video just extremely long, trying to shorten it down. But as you can see, we're getting to our finished product. And so for me, I take a lot of my time. I had a colleague of mine who works in the suites. He came in, he was chopping it up. So for me, I was kind of lollygagging here. But I want you guys to understand that it's a step-by-step process. So you can kind of see at the top where I'm lining my hair, but I'm kind of just define lining and detailing. But here I am combing, getting all those dead hairs out the way. But you can kind of see that and kind of get the gist. You gotta, when you're lining your own hairline, take your time. Let me say it again, take your time. Like I always tell you guys in any of my videos, when I do a hairline, I'm going to start from the middle, whether it's mine or yours or another person's. Start from my middle, work my way left, then I work my way right. Shout out to my guy Julian. He was out on the camera, chopping it up with me, laughing, shooting the shit. Excuse my language for anybody who is in here. I do apologize. So as we're finishing up this haircut, this self-cut on me, I'm going to just mainly detail from here. So that's just cleaning up the bottom of my ball tapers, making sure that my hairline looks good. And this is where you guys come in and let me know what you think, just visually looking at it from your view. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, if this was understandable for you or if it was not. Excuse me, guys. The main thing about cutting hair is it takes repetition to get better. The only way you do get better. Okay, so boom. Hitting my ball taper with my shavers, just cleaning up that line, going back through with my Stylecraft trimmers, and now I'm just detailing because these are a little bit more of a fine line, sharper trimmers. Hitting a couple of those spots, using the tip of my blade, not overusing the blade, and then like always, I tell you guys, comb. And so I'm very, very serious about my vertical bars. And how I want them lined. And so for me, I really take pride into doing those, and I take my time. I always pull the skin. That way I can kind of see it at a point. And so you can see me, guys. I'm just going to really focus in on here without pushing my lines back or overdoing it. I'm going to really focus in and get those real nice and crispy. That is a key part for me. So I know the video is jumping back, but this is where I was talking about how I line the back of my hairline or do my haircut from the back, as you can see. And so I just wanted to kind of show you guys in a gist so that you kind of see how I approach it using my mirrors. And so here we're getting towards the end of this video. So I'm going to clean it up with my razor on my vertical bars, making sure that I get any loose hair. And you can see my hairline, I think, is looking crispy. But I'm making sure that everything's just all in one accord. Everything is lined up. I did spray a little bit of enhancements on there. I don't overdo it. I just did a little bit. I don't need too much. But finished product, guys. Details matter. Details matter. Um, Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment. I do appreciate the support. Let me know what you guys think. Boom, boom, boom. Finished product. We out of here. Let's go.